Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about She-Hulk Episode 2 Superhuman Law. That's right, that's the title of the episode. And right in the beginning, we get our little recap. So it looks like there will be somewhat of a continuing story. I thought each episode would be more self contained, even though I did feel the episode was still a little self contained. Some of the stuff that happened last time gets leaked into this episode. We'll see how the rest of the series continues. But it doesn't seem like you have to remember that much. You need to know how she becomes the She-Hulk. I think that is important. We'll see how the other episodes continue, but it looks like there will be a continuing storyline, especially the way this episode ends. You need to go in week after week knowing where the story is going, but maybe at the same time they'll give you enough each week to catch you up to speed. And I thought this episode was another really good episode. I'm gonna be honest. So basically, right in the beginning, this is a spoiler review, by the way, just in case a lot of you don't know, despite the title telling you otherwise. Um, yeah, Jennifer Walters is fired. They can't keep her because she's this Hulk and she's too much of a distraction. So she needs to get another job. But before that, she gets invited to a family dinner. And at this family dinner, her family is as her father wants to know things about the Avengers. The cousin or whatever wants to rub it in her face that she was fired and all this family stuff that family can be a little annoying sometimes. My brother's a vegetarian. I like to rub it in and say, "Hey, Kevin, you want some meat?" So sometimes people can be that way. But it's all in good fun, and when you have family, deep down they love you. But by the way, I love the end credit scene where you see the family having her be She-Hulk. If you haven't seen the episode, please go and see it first. But if you have, you've probably seen the end credit scene where you see Jen as the She-Hulk doing all the chores, helping out because now she's strong enough to do it. And the father's just like, yeah, put the TV there. Okay, bring the water bottles. Come on. So that was pretty funny. Not as funny as last week's end credit scene. That one had me laughing out loud so much. It was great. This one had me laughing, but like not out loud laughing. It was like, haha, that's cute. Um, but there were some funny jokes in the episode. I don't want to say the whole episode was like that. There was some. I don't think there was that big laugh that I wanted from last week, but there were still some really good jokes, humor sprinkled throughout the episode. And I am loving this Jen Walters character. I think Tatiana Maslany is doing a fantastic job as Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk. She is carrying this show, man, and she is doing a fantastic job. I think the supporting cast is really good too. I was surprised that we got to see the Hulk, Smart Hulk, Bruce Banner there. Hearing Mark Ruffalo's face in the voice. I mean, on the phone earlier in the episode, I thought that was all we were going to get of him, but then we do see him at the end, and it looks like he might be going to Sakaar because he got the Sakarian spaceship that came last week in the episode, and it looks like he's flying off to Sakaar. There are rumors that Jeff Goldblum might be showing up in this show. Maybe that's gonna show that. It will be fun to see Jeff Goldblum come back. In what cameo or role will he play? Maybe it will just be a small cameo. Who knows? But I kind of want to be with Bruce and see what he's doing too. But I'm happy we're sticking with Jen too because I think she's a great character and I'm loving her story. What's going, especially the way the episode ends, it makes me wonder, what's gonna happen next? So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But I think the big thing that a lot of people will take from this is Emil Blonsky returning as, Tim Roth returning as Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. Now, if you don't remember, they make a point of this in this episode, even though they never showed the clips in the Hulk, the Marvel Legends thing, where they recap everything that happened to those characters, each character that has a new Marvel movie or show coming out. they didn't show any of the Incredible Hulk footage, which I thought was weird. Even if you just showed the Abomination stuff, I think that would have been important, but they didn't. And for whatever reason. But it was great seeing Tim Roth back, even though he was playing it very differently than the way he played it back in The Incredible Hulk back in 2008. But they make it make sense because it's been so many years since that movie, and so many years even in the timeline, because in the timeline, considering that this show should be taking place in 2025, that timeline took place in 2011. So that's over 10 years, even within the timeline itself. So, yeah, there would be a lot of time for Blonsky to, rethink his life and change a lot since then. He's been in jail for a very long time. And I like that they got Bruce's perspective of it later on near the end of the episode when, Jen calls Bruce and Bruce, to get his thoughts, saying that she was going to take up the because Holloway, who we saw in court in the previous episode, briefly, he didn't have no lines, I don't think, but he offered Jen a job to come work for him, where they want to start, looking after more people with superhuman abilities. And only one catch though, she has to be She-Hulk in court and at work all the time. So she agrees to it, and this works perfectly for her, whether she likes it or not, because she has superpowers, and she can be now a superhuman lawyer, which is awesome. And I like that Bruce liked the name, despite the fact that Jen doesn't like the name. So getting back on track with Emil Blonsky, she calls Bruce up to kind of get his, like, yeah, I'm taking this job. And he already knows that that's what she's calling for. And I like that he mentioned that Blonsky wrote him a letter, like kind of like an apology letter not too long ago, to kind of, make us the audience say, "Oh, okay, so Bruce and him kind of made amends, and both of them are looking at it. So long ago. Why are we still at each other's throats? He has time to think about it. Even Bruce himself is a very different person, literally, because he's not played by Edward Norton anymore. He's now played by Mark Ruffalo. So literally, he's a very different person, and I think that's what that was kind of implying to. Maybe a meta joke about Bruce being two different people. Yeah, I really liked that conversation that they were having. I do kind of hope we see Mark Ruffalo's Hulk meeting Tim Roth's Abomination again, or for the first time, since we never really got to see those two interact. It was Edward Norton instead of Mark Ruffalo. But if we don't, that's fine. This is Jen's show, and it should focus on her. And that's what the show so far is doing really well. It's really showcasing Jen and, realizing that, yeah, this is the star. So, but sometimes they tease things that I would love to see a little bit more of some of those characters' interactions too. But whatever, we don't. Tim Roth, I thought, was interesting because he was playing it differently, obviously. He was playing it more upbeat, more optimistic. He wasn't like the angry soldier that we saw in The Incredible Hulk. And I'll admit, it did take a little getting used to. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about it. I'm like, I kind of wanted that angry soldier back who wanted revenge. But then, considering this is a different show and we're at a different place with this character, it's showing the evolution of this character and where he's going next. So I didn't even think about the Shang-Chi appearance until the end of the episode when, Jen, she's at work or she's somewhere and she gets a call from Holloway, and Holloway says, "Hey, you better put on the news because there's probably something going on that you might be interested in." She turns on the news. Apparently, footage has leaked of Abomination at one of those the fight club that he was at with Wong in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Remember that little cameo? Well, it looks like that cameo is now paying off. We were all wondering, wait a minute, Why is Abomination hanging out with Wong? Well, now it looks like the world just found out, and maybe we're going to discover that next week because we do know that Benedict Wong is going to be showing up in the show. He showed up in the trailers, and he's one of the many cameos that we're going to get, and we're going to see how now that fits in. Why was Wong training him? Maybe we'll get answers to that next week. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to put trouble on Abomination's case, but it will be fun and interesting to see why he broke. Because apparently they said he broke out of prison again, or is this just the leak? Is he still in prison? That was something maybe I didn't understand fully. I might have to go back and rewatch the episode to fully check that out. But look, for what it's worth, it got me excited to check out next week's episode, and it's just gonna be getting crazier and crazy. I heard from the critics that saw the first four episodes, that the next two episodes get a little crazier. So it will be interesting to see what they mean by that and how it gets crazier. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. So this was a really good episode. I thought it was really good. I'm really loving the writing. I'm really loving Jen, played by Tatiana Maslany. And her supporting cast so far is great. I'm loving what they're doing with Tim Roth as the Abomination. Will we see him we will see him turn into the Abomination, because I think that was in the trailers, right? So maybe he is still in prison. Just that footage got leaked, and now he's in trouble. So knowing that people knowing that he has been getting out once in a while to go at a fight club. So yeah, it will be fun and interesting to see where they're going with all of this. To see how Daredevil's going to fit on in all of it. Yeah, I'm really liking it, and I'm looking forward to more. So, with that being said, guys, comment below if you've seen this episode. Tell me what you thought about it, and like this video because that helps supports the channel. Share the video too to let other people know, and maybe they want to know my thoughts on the episode. Who's this guy? I don't know, but let's hear what he thought. Yeah, let people know about the channel. Support me by subscribing if you haven't yet. And until next time, take care.